I wish things would have been different, that I didn't have to leave my country, because you're always a foreigner wherever you are, if you're not in your own country. My name is Regina Filipov. I was born in Brazil, in a city about 300 kilometers from Rio de Janeiro. It's called Campos. Well, my mother was a person that I'd rather not talk about it. We never had a good relationship. It was a hard relationship. We fought a lot. I studied piano all my life since I was 4 years old. Well, my father was a lawyer, but he was one of those lawyers where he liked to help the poor people. If you didn't have money to pay, you didn't have to. I wanted to be a lawyer too, but she wanted me to be a pianist. So she told me, either you go to music school or you don't go anywhere, you just stay here. And that wasn't an option for me. I wanted to get out from the city, to go to Rio. I wanted to get away from her. So if that's what it took, that's what it took. I went to music school. I graduated from the music school in 1961-62. At the time, there was a lot of upheaval, uncertainties. The president elected resigned after a few months in office, and the vice president was very leftist. That's when the military weren't happy with his ideology, so they just told him to pack his bags and go. You know, Brazil had a dictatorship before, and people still remembered, the horrors of the military regime. So whoever could leave left, and it was an easy country to get a visa at the time. Australia was. They were welcoming new immigrants. But Australia was, to us, was a whole unknown world. It was the other side of the world. And I had never met anyone that had been to Australia. But, with the situation in Brazil, the economical situation, we didn't have much of a choice. So very quickly we got the visa. And then Alex went, and then I went 6 months later, and we got married over there. The ceremony was just a city hall ceremony. Just the two of us, and being used to it in Brazil, I invited people to my home. They used to come, but they would never invite us back. So the first one, the second one, after the third one, I said, what's going on here? Is it really what the people are like? So I started asking questions, and you're never going to mix with Australians. They keep to themselves. They're polite. If you invite them, they'll come, but they'll never invite you back. So I stopped spending my money inviting them over, and cooking for them or whatever. And if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. The only friends that we had were isolated too. We had lots of differences. We weren't very compatible, but we had no choice. We had to sort of learn how to accept each other. We never thought about moving back to Brazil, because that was the peak of the military government. We liked the idea of Montreal, what we read about Montreal, and we decided to try and make a go at it in Montreal. Montreal was great. It was a lot of partying going, and a good nightlife, restaurants, and friends getting together. When we were there, it was 1970 when Brazil won the World Cup. That's when we all got to know each other. All the Brazilians got together, and we became a big family. So it was a whole different ball game from Australia. That's when my first son was born. He's a Quebecois. I keep telling him that he's going to have to immigrate to Canada one of these days. René Lévesque was always in the corridors of the CBC. We could see him there just about every day. Trudeau was first elected, the FLQ crisis, and you could see the change happening every day, that they weren't accepting people that didn't speak French. I wouldn't call racism, but we had to make a choice. Either we learn French, adapt to the French way, or just get out, but we decided to move. Ontario was a lot boring at that time. It was like downtown Toronto was nothing. The tallest building was the Royal York. Because of the separatist movement, the big companies started moving their head offices to Toronto. And that's when downtown Toronto started growing. And at one point in time, Alex got a job offer in the northeast of Brazil. So we decided to take a chance and go. You get paid once a month, and halfway through the month, there was no more money. You know, we're talking about 100 to 200% inflation a year. It's a lot. You had the beaches, though, but you have to weigh your priorities in life. You want to be on the beach, or you want to have a stable financial life. So we came back, and a few years later, there was another job offer. We thought it was going to be a lot better. We went again. Again, it didn't work out. So that was the end of our dreams of going back to Brazil. That were half of the problems that we had in Brazil with my mother. And her being gone, we thought that probably, was about time to go back home.
So how did you feel when about her dying?
I don't know. I don't know how I felt when she died. I don't know. I don't like to talk about it.
It's good to know. I guess for you.
You don't want to know how I felt. I'm happy with my life in Canada. I have no complaints. I wish my daughter was here too, because she's out there and I'm here. If I could have all my family together, that would be a lot better. It was in my plans to retire and move back to Brazil, but then something happened here that changed all my plans. There was a little girl called Sophia that was born 2 years ago, and she's my reason for being in Canada right now.
Who is Sophia to you?
Sophia is my little granddaughter. She's my little baby, my little darling, my little joy.
So you're still stuck in Canada for a while?
I'm stuck in Canada now because of Sophia, unless I can kidnap her to Brazil. But otherwise, I'll have to stay here so I can be close to her.
Bate na calçada nesta tarde, não trouxe o dia que anseia